Okay, then from the outside, as Carrie mentioned, Whitney Morgan, fresh again from those World Indoor Championships, where she did perform exceptionally well. Missed out on the medals, but it was a pretty good race. I was expecting Helen Ejgayehu there, but this is Ejgayehu Salama. So she, I think, is going to figure here, even though it's 3,000 PB is not as quick as some, in terms of real top of the world. There's Helen. Helen, 8:37 last year. Just to give you a little bit of a hint, you can see their personal best down there as they're being animated. An 8:32 from Ejgayehu. Well, a world record in Valencia and 10K on the roads at the beginning of last year, and just followed that through all the way here with a phenomenal season. In terms of experience, you can't get too much more experience than Taye. You know, she's run some of her best races in the US. I remember in Eugene running super fast 5,000 meters, and she's a stalwart on the circuit. She doesn't win many races. That's the only thing I'd say. Her finish is a challenge, so you might see her taking it on. Emily Infeld. Elise Cranny that we've already seen, and then we'll move on to the inside lane. I would talk about leaders. Japanese athlete Tanaka, track fans will know that she's never fearful of going to the front.
She loves to race. She races a ton. Was in the States doing an indoor series there and ran PBs in all 3 of her races.
So just to reiterate, 7.5 laps of the track, the 5,000. Their second event will be on Sunday. Breezy conditions, but it is calming somewhat. The sun has set, certainly on the track. There's still a little glint of sunshine in the upper stands, but in shadow now, a lot cooler. Well, maybe no surprise that Ejgayehu goes to the front here.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all. I kind of thought she would take it out, get established. You know, she's run very fast. She's run 8:32 over 3,000 meters, but that was from 2023, so it's been a long time. But she's hit the roads, and she's hit the roads very well. I mean, when she ran her last 10K, she ran so fast, and I just think that she will be able to come back to the track and get comfortable fast, but this is going to be an eye-opener for her tonight.
So the field just tucked in nicely behind her, and that takes the nerves away from everybody else. You know, it stops that sense of, well, we're jogging here, should I go at the front? So immediately she's these two are doing everybody a little bit of a favor. So Agnes with Helen behind her is just trying to, it's very hard to look down and see what pace they're going, but you watch that clock there, anything under 70 is okay, kind of. It's nothing that fast. Very, very much in the comfort zone of most of these athletes. And the clock didn't stop there, but I reckon it was around about 71, 72.
Yeah, and you know what I think is really neat about what Michael Johnson and the crew is really trying to do here is bring it back to race, and we've touched on it a little bit, but there's no pace lights, there's no pacers. You know, there's 2 long events within 3 days. A lot of these athletes haven't done that. In America, at the NCAA level, there's a lot of doubling up. In high school, we do that. But here, as professionals, you don't see a lot of doubles. So this is going to be interesting for the athletes. Yeah, they have a day off in between, but still, it's a lot of running in 3 days.
Ejgayehu Salama just tucked in 3rd place. Taye just behind her as well, and she's not frightened to lead when she has to. And I mean, she's got a pretty good kick, but just when you get to the very, very top level, she often gets beaten by other teammates, and 1 or 2 of the Kenyans over the years. And as I said, if you kind of look down at, does she win races? And this is what this is all about. A slam, though, you could, 2 second places could be enough to win the slam. So these 4 already just pulling away a little bit from the rest. Taye, one of the challengers, as is Helen Ejgayehu.
I like Helen Ejgayehu. I think that what she has on her mind is that her dream is to run for her country. Her dream is to get to the World Championships next September. I mean, she's got a lot riding on this season. This is her opener. as we see Ejgayehu Gebreselassie move into second. Now that she's got an interesting story. She's now full-time in Boulder with the On Athletics Club there, and she's running phenomenally. She actually had a very nice 3,000 meters indoors, but she did that 3,000 off of half marathon training. She ran a half marathon in February, and she looked really good on the road. So she's dabbling a little bit in both, seeing where she wants to be, but now focus is back to the track.
It's much more of a feature these days, though, that, you know, you flip from the roads to the track across all the distances. And
yep.
Nobody's scared of doing a half marathon now. You've got 1,500 runners running great half marathons. Nobody's scared of the distance anymore.
Well, when you see a Sifan Hassan be able to do so many events and do so well over them, it's kind of exciting to try it.
Does drafting really make a difference?
Drafting when it's windy, yeah. The reason we have pacemakers is there's loads of studies been done on this over the years around the energy conservation by not being at the front. But there's also stress about being at the front. You know, you're trying to work things out. When somebody else is doing it, you don't have to think, you just slot in behind. So it's not just a physical thing, it's a mental rest as well, until the point where the person at the front is applying so much pressure, is going so hard, then you're into, it flips then, doesn't it? So it really depends on the front runner, their capabilities. You know, do they just run at the front? Are they surging? Are they making it quicker? So if you're just asking a question of is it easier to run behind somebody? Yes.
Okay.
I love right now what Agnes is doing up front. She's kind of stringing it out, but then it's like an accordion right now. They went hard and they eased off. They're surging, and that is the hardest way to race, especially a 3,000 meter, because this pace hurts no matter what. So look at how much space they put on in that last 200.
So these three well clear. Taye looks fairly comfortable. I have to say, Gebreselassie looks as though she's working a little bit to hang on to this. And Ejgayehu realizing that there were too many people perhaps in that group being allowed to contest the last couple of laps, which she wouldn't want. She won't really be fancying herself in a kick finish. So 3 laps to go. These three well clear already. And as Carrie said, that was really done in the space of 400 meters. But these points are important. So unlike other events where you might think, okay, they're done here, they're not involved, they're not in the top 3, they are running for points. And when we get to the 5,000 meters, it's going to be significant. They're going to still be trying to work to come as high up as they can in this one.
Well, what I think is significant about this race in particular, the first one out of the gate, right, for these distance runners, they do have to think about that. That second pack has to be strategic as well. Win the race you're in. If the 3 are out front and they are gone, win that second race, because guess what? We have another one, and that money accumulates the higher up you get over the 2 days. It's not just the 1 day.
Agnes Ejgayehu had a bit of an injury last year, had to withdraw from the Olympic trials. She had set her heart on getting to the Olympic Games, but sadly injury stopped her doing that. Then she turned, once she was fit, all of her focus onto the roads with great effect. Has said she wants to concentrate on the track in 2025, and this is where it starts for her. So it's going to be a real eye-opener for all of us watching, I guess, in the sense of, is she really going to be a contender on the world stage? We know she's strong. We know she's brilliant on the roads. We know she's quick there. Has she got the ability to win races on the track? Well, the pressure she's applying is not only having effect on the rest of the field, who are now 60 meters behind, there or thereabouts, but we've now lost Gebreselassie off that group, and only Taye trying to hang on.
Well, Taye is known to be the one to sit in this position in second and wait for that final sprint. She is one that is calm and collected. She's calculating things as she goes throughout the race, and she looks like she's kind of chomping at the bit. But right now, I think throw that time out the door and just sit and win this race. We'll have to see what she does here.
Well, I did have a look before we came to this, and I don't think she's won a track race since 2022.
Yeah, it's been a while, but she wins.
Yeah, but this Taye's sitting here just looking so comfortable. And Ejgayehu has done everything she can. She set the early pace. It slowed a little bit. She picked it up to break the field up, and she did that. And then she kept pushing and kept pushing. Look at the lap times. And she now is in a real battle royal here with Taye. The two of them locked together, the age-old battle between Kenya and Ethiopia on the track. And they normally say that Ethiopia outkicks Kenya. And has this happened here? Taye just finding a little bit extra. Doesn't always manage to turn on the speed, not enough to beat some of her other compatriots, but this time it's going to be enough. She's timed this perfectly. Ejgayehu did everything she could and will run hard to the line, but no doubt about our winner here. Taye just about hanging on. Ejgayehu is chasing, but she's not going to get there. Taye takes the win. 8:28. Those lap times were getting quicker and quicker, almost sneaked up on us. That's a quick time. Gebrselassie in third place. Helen Ejgayehu will take fourth. We're looking down and watching them cross the line because all of those positions will be important come the 5,000 meters. 10 seconds behind in third place, and then a bit of a gap to fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth.
Well, I really liked how Taye raced. She kind of sat in that third position for most of the race, slowly moving into second. But watch this here. I saw a little bit of a side eye on the back side, and she waited, she looked at her, she waited, and then she went, almost like she knew with 200 to go, she had it. She did really move hard on this turn. Coming into the stretch, I thought she had a lot of bounce. There was just a little bit of fatigue that happened with about 60 meters to go, and for a second there, I thought maybe Agnes Ejgayehu was closing in to get her, but she had enough pressure there. Taye looked good, looked smart, won her first long distance event at the Grand Slam track event, and looks like she's going to be in good form come Sunday.